It's a great day to be alive. Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to Backyard with the Richards. Got some things going on today. I'm not sure which one I'm going to handle first. One, I'm going to try to finish up the window on the side of the house that we've recently installed. We've got some caulking to do and probably paint the stucco. So we'll have to see how that looks before we move forward on that. Two, I finally received my new umbrella for the back patio. I ordered one probably 3 weeks ago. Somehow it got lost and we waited and waited and we had to send the other one back. The other one never came. Well, then we got a bounce. So then we ordered another one from another company rather, and they all came from Amazon. Well, we finally got it. So I'm going to try to get it out of the box, hook it up, put it together and see if it'll still fit into the same base that we had for the other one. So stay tuned and we'll see how that goes. A couple things popped in my head I wanted to share with you. One of the stops I made was at the hardware, and I'll stop in there and buy some, typical things like nuts and bolts and things like that. And they usually have some pretty good pricing. I just bought a rake down there, and their prices are probably as good, if not cheaper, than going to the big box store like Lowe's or Walmart or Home Depot. So anyway, I go in there and I bought some washers and I bought some small bolts and some nuts. And typically when you buy them, they're 15 to 20 cents a piece. So by the time you buy 5, 10 of them, I just figure I might as well buy the whole box. And that's what I did. So I got a box of each for like $15.86, and that'll last me for a long time. And that way, I've got a nice inventory here at home that I can use to grab something out of the shop, and I can use those in the future. So that's a pretty good deal. The other thing was the umbrella thing. I didn't bring it up, but the first one we had, the red one, was probably $375. It had a plug where you plugged in the lights. They weren't solar, which I did like that. And this one here, the blue one we bought, the new one that I made work with the old frame, is I think it was $124, something like that. And it was on sale, but pretty good deal. We were just at a Costco over the weekend, and I saw a really nice, it was probably somewhere between a 10 and a 12 footer for $675, I think it was. That's a lot of money. So, you can save some money if you just kind of shop around and look and see what's available, wait for sales. I know Amazon has some really good stuff usually on sale, and you can usually get some good deals, but a lot of times I like to figure out a way I can make something work without having to spend money on a bunch of other things I don't need, which is what I did with the umbrella and the base. I thought that was a pretty good deal and a good value. So anyway, shop around, and you can save some money. So that's a good thing to do if you have the time and the ability to do those types of things. On the outside of this is pretty decent shape on the aluminum part. It's just a little bit different. As you look down here at the end, the opening on that's considerably larger than the new one. Now you come over here, here's the new stand. Pretty much the same. The bolt pattern is almost exactly as the other one for the top part of the mount. But the mount itself that allows it to swivel rather is a little bit larger in diameter. I don't think it'll fit between the diameter of the pieces that fill up with water to hold it down, which I'll show you here in a moment. Come over here, here's the new one. It's a nice kind of a turquoise color. Pretty much the same thing. It's a 10-foot umbrella with LED lights. Should be pretty nice. It's considerably cheaper than the other one. The thing with this one that's a little bit different is you come down here on the end, and the end of this one is a little bit smaller. So, just different extrusions from a different company. Now, you come over here, here's the old base. Whether I use the old base or the new base, it really doesn't matter. But here's the base for the new umbrella. And as you can see, it pretty much mounts right up to the same point. So I think we might be okay. The only thing that I would question is whether or not that's going to be sitting too low, which I don't think we'll lose too much on the height. Here's the swivel piece. So really, by the time I take the swivel piece and drill new holes in the base, this diameter right here is not going to fit inside of that diameter. That diameter is 5 inches on the money, and that base over there on the top of the swivel is about 5 1/4 plus in order to make it work correctly. We don't swivel it, so I don't really think it's that big of a deal. So we're going to try and make it work. Stay tuned and I'll show you what it looks like when I get it bolted up. So there we go. There's the turquoise umbrella. Looks real good. Didn't have to worry too much about the height. It sits pretty much about the same as the other one. And said it was 10 foot, but it doesn't seem like 10 foot, but it's pretty good size. It's just not as durable and sturdy as the previous one, at least the frame. Fit on the base really well, as you can tell. Pretty solid. Just left the spindle thing out, bolted it right to the frame, and fit right underneath the plastic pieces, just as if it ever was even there. This has got the LED lights on it with the thing on top that picks up the solar, so we'll see how that works out, and hopefully that'll last us another 5 years. Got back from going into town running a couple errands and thought I would take time to maybe give an update on the window we did on the side of the house there, and see what you think. So here's the window that I was referencing. Did this in here a while back. There was a larger window in there. It had kind of broken. I didn't like it because it was too tall of a window and kind of a security issue, and quite frankly I wanted something a little bit better. So now we have this, I'll call it a triple pane window. It's got 2 fixed windows at the top, and at the bottom we have that slider, and I had to frame it in. Got that all finished up. I was going to show the picture of the screen on the exterior part that I used marine plywood. Yesterday I stuccoed that all in, and it looks like it came out pretty well. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the second finish coat on it or not. Once I get that painted, I think it'll look pretty good. I got some caulking to do around the windows, as you can see. That foam I got all cut off. It does a great job. That good foam you buy, it's probably about $9 a can, but it does an awesome job. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. I might try to just get some paint on it. I'm gonna let it sit for a while long. Maybe tomorrow I'll get some paint on it. I'm not sure, but I think it turned out good. I like it. Yeah. I have an automatic sprinkler system built in at my property. Not only does it water my grass, but it fills my pool, and everybody's happy. Thanks to Sarah Bay Golf Course. Well, while we're out here, I figured I'd go ahead and get this pool pump running. I haven't turned it on yet today because I haven't had a chance to clear out the bottom of the filter tank. Cleaned it out yesterday. There's probably a lot of sediment in there. I like to drain it out before I turn the pump on, rather than getting stuck in there on that dimensionous earth I just put on that filter. So I'm gonna open that up and see what we can get out of there. Simple as that. All right, takes care of that. Turn the pump on and see what we got. So far, so good. Had to make sure where it clears that water up, crystal clear. Looks like we're good to go. All right, another one off the list today. So that pretty much wraps up, I think, for what we got going on here in the last day, and got a lot done. We got that window finished up, and we got some touch up to do on this wall right here too, I think, on some places. Other than that, not too bad. But you know, for the most part, I'm happy with it, and it's just one step forward, one day at a time. And looks like it's going to rain. Can't really tell for sure, but we're due for some rain. We'll see what that happens a little later today. We could use some more rain. This time of the year we usually get dumped on, so we'll take everything we can get. So anyway, that's it for today. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, and we'll have some more available sometime soon. Have a great one.